I can't see anything because I've got no glass on, so I'm looking. I don't know where I'm looking, so I can look at you. I'm looking there. Okay, I'm just not going to look. Yeah, okay. Be as natural as possible. I can. I've got a lot of favourite guest entertainers. Some of them I've met from a very first cruise, which was so kind to me. I think guest entertainers are a really great community of people. I suppose some of my favourite ones I've worked with an awful lot are Jeff Stevenson, Mike Doyle, and Philip Hitchcock. They come to mind because I've worked with them an awful lot. And every time I'm on cruises with them, they just make me feel better. And so that's just a beautiful thing. And what I love about the performances of those three that I've seen so many times is they're always enthusiastic. They've been doing this job for like over 20 years in some cases, but every show they get nervous about and every show they try the best. And I just take real inspiration from the fact that they are so enthusiastic about entertaining the audience. Yeah. Growing up in Wigan was interesting. My parents weren't musicians at all or in any way involved in show business. But we had a scheme where you could take a musical instrument home for free. And I got a trumpet and took it home. And then there was this amazing kind of body of musical experience in Wigan. We had a Wigan Jazz Festival. We had regular big bands. There was like a massive musical community that you could go and work and play, semi-professional big bands and all kinds of things. I mean, you know, about all that kind of music scene. So that was really incredible. And so you really wanted to practice to get higher up in those bands. So yeah, it was a great time to be in Wigan. I'm not sure it's that great now, but yeah, I think I was quite lucky. And the pies are obviously very good as well.
Pies.
The pies. My biggest idols, well, when I was at Wigan, we used to play and back all these artists. And to be honest, all I ever wanted was some charts with my name on them. I thought if I get charts and my own name on them, I'll really just think I've made it. So my biggest idols would turn up to the bands with these folders with these amazing charts, looking all super smart, and they would just be so showbiz. And I just thought, oh my goodness, I want to do that. But it was never actually on the cards that I would do that. I was going to be a trumpet player. So, but my biggest idols, I suppose, have always been passionate, enthusiastic, and honest, really. And that's kind of what I like. There were no real role models as a female on the trumpet back a long time ago. It it was all very male dominated. I was always the only female in the band, always the only female in the trumpet section, and I just had to kind of get on with that. Really, I felt like an odd one out, but most of the time, the lads were really good to me and included me. But you did have that feeling that you had to kind of be one of the lads and to behave like one of the lads. And it still kind of is the case a little bit. The trumpet is quite a masculine instrument. So there's no real role models for brass playing back then. Nowadays, it's really changed and there really is. And I'm kind of a little bit jealous that I'm not younger nowadays because the opportunities are so much greater than they were when I was growing up. But yeah, so I think it's really important because I was kind of told things that girls shouldn't play the trumpet. I was told that girls look ugly when they play the trumpet. I was told it wasn't a very feminine thing to do. You know, there was lots of things that kind of could have put me off playing and did really for a while. Actually, I didn't. You know, I thought it wasn't a good profession for a woman. Um, but anyway, I came back and I'm doing it now. So bugger them. There are many challenging things about traveling around the world that have been made a million times worse from Brexit. You know what I mean? So having to go on different flights and change flights, you've literally got to queue up now to get into Europe and get out of Europe. And then there's the stress of the 90-day thing. I mean, we could just moan about that forever. So that has been hard job has been made even harder. And then the dreaded middle seat is another dreaded thing about traveling. So there are quite a few challenges. And the things that made it better, I was always told to get a good pair of noise cancelling headphones, which is a really good tip. Well, it's incredible to be able to perform on these places, these incredible theatres. That's an amazing thing to do. And just the randomness of it is just a ridiculous job, and it's bizarre, isn't it? And you wake up in different places, and it's absolutely crazy. And so I don't think I love most about working cruise ships is telling other people about it, because they can't quite believe it. So it is remarkable. But in all seriousness, it is the shows, you get to do your thing, and that's really lucky. Ah, well, I haven't really had the experience of being in a room with Harry Connick Jr. and George Clooney and Jason Manford at the same time. So that would be something I'd like to make happen. But yeah, I have made a lot of things come true. I just remember being really small and wanted to play at Ronnie Scott's. I remember going and seeing something there and thinking, have I ever got to sing on that stage or play my trumpet on that stage? You could shoot me afterwards, because that would be it, over. I'd have achieved my dream. And that's happened. And it's really weird when things like that happen. It's so weird. So there's so much I'd like to do, some in music, some outside of music. I'm studying at the moment, and I just kind of want to just keep improving in all aspects of my life, including enunciation of words. So yeah, there's so much I'd like to do, definitely. Best piece of advice would be definitely to be braver when I was young, and to improvise more, and just to not rely on the music, just to kind of go with your own creativity, and to realize that there are more styles of music about than you're kind of into at the moment. So I'd just like to have more of an open mind musically and performing when I was younger. I'd also tell my younger self to put your moisturizer on your forehead and down your neck as well, because you only kind of realize that you've just been putting it on your face until it gets a bit too late. So that's definitely something I would advise. My name's Georgina Jackson. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe to Strictly Professional.